And we're back with another segment right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos Show. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. How is everyone out there? Again, we truly appreciate you listening to us. We are again on the Podcast Radio Network every Monday night, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, and catch our other show, the PCC Multiverse, also on the Podcast Radio Network on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're also able to download the show anytime you can do it. Not a problem, because you can get the show at any time on our Pop Culture Cosmos channels on ESO Network, the Tangentbound Network, the Gunna Geek Network, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast.com, Mixcloud, and Google Play. So I'll tell you what, everybody out there that is a avid gamer, this is a segment for you, because I tell you what, we have got a great guest coming on today. If you like gaming as much as I like gaming, and especially if you're a great PC gamer out there, everybody's always asking, what's the best way to go ahead and play PC games? What's the best way to go ahead and enjoy, well, let's say a bevy of titles that is right at your fingertips? Well, one of the great new ways that's coming out, and it's actually out in open beta right now, so you can take a look at it, is called Utomik, and it's utomik.com. That's utomik.com. It's a great new game streaming services that actually comes right to your hard drive, and it does a lot of great things. And who better to talk about Utomik and their wonderful array of games that they have, which is now, like I said, in open beta, and you can get a 14-day free trial if you go to utomik.com right now. He is the CEO of Utomik. It is Doki Tops. How are you today, my friend? Mr. Tops, how are you? Hello? Hello, Mr. Tops, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, yes. Mr. Doki Tops, CEO of Utomik. How are you today? Doki Tops, are you there?
The sound is gone.
Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Wait. Can you say something again?
Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Give me a sec. This is just...
I can hear you fine.
Hello?
Hello, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
What the hell?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, then but I can barely hear you, so that's the crazy thing. My headphone all of a sudden...
Okay, can you hear me now? Just barely enough. Can you hear me?
You don't need to see me, right? I can use my...
Yes.
Hello?
No, you whatever.
Okay.
You wish, yeah, whatever you wish to use. But you come up. I can hear you great. I can hear you great.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll do it like this.
Okay,
Old
no
school.
problem. We appreciate you coming on the show. This will
Yes.
sound. By the way, this will sound so much better in post-production for you. So don't worry about
Awesome.
that. But it's great to have you on the show. So tell everyone out there. I was telling everyone about the great service that you guys are offering to gamers out there. But tell us a little bit more about Utomik and utomik.com.
Yes, so Utomik is an all-you-can-eat gaming service. The best way we always explain it, it's a bit like Netflix for games. And it allows you to play, right now, I believe, 450 games, usually in 30 seconds. The cool thing about it is that you can play games with one click really fast. And the other cool thing is that we're adding 30 games every month.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
And the awesome thing is also that we do not do the same streaming as what other people do. We download to your hard drive, but we do it in a really smart way because we only download a very small portion of the game, sometimes even just 1/100th of the game to get you going. And then when you're playing, we make sure that all the content is there before you need it. So a game like Darksiders, which is a 10 gigabyte game, you can start playing it in one click after downloading only 300 megabytes if you have a proper internet connection.
Oh, that's great indeed, and that's something I really wanted to talk to you more about, because you're able. Most people have to wait for downloads. I know someone, as far as being a console gamer as well, you sometimes have to wait to actually, when you buy the game, you still have to wait several hours before you actually are able to even get anywhere near playing the game. Same thing as far as from a PC standpoint as well. So the advantage of actually going and playing the game within just a short amount of time while it feeds into the background, how did that come about as far as that concept is concerned?
The technology for that is something that we've been working on a long time. We don't know of any other company doing it. It's also pretty difficult. It came about a long time ago. We already built technology that worked a bit more manual, and we sold that to MMO companies. But then we discovered a new innovation. Basically, we were able to predict what people needed before they need it in a very reliable way. So our technology is only wrong 0.001% of the time.
Okay.
And the other thing is we were able to start to do this with games without any effort from a developer whatsoever. So the reason we as a startup are now having 450 games live within a year and adding 30 to 40 games every month is because all we need from a developer or publisher is a build of the game. And then our technology will chop up the game and make it run. And we will fool the game into thinking it's there, but it's not. That's kind of how it works.
Oh, that's really inventive and ingenious indeed. So far, I know there's been a lot of great responses that I've seen online, but on a personal level, what are gamers telling you about how they feel about the great options that are available with Utomik?
Yeah, so when we started the service, we're doing subscription gaming, which is something totally new in gaming. And the response is becoming more and more positive. So to be very transparent, on the positive side, the stuff we're seeing today is people get to discover and play games that they would otherwise never try out because there's no friction between you and playing and trying that game because there's no investment required, just like on Netflix. And the greatest thing I've seen thus far is that we recently launched Borderlands on the platform. And we also have a lot of women on the platform because we like to have a broad library of games going from casual to hardcore to adventure games. And all of a sudden we get someone on Facebook saying, well, I usually only play time management games, but I now tried out this Borderlands thing. As a gamer, you go like, everybody knows Borderlands, but this is a lady who's never heard of the game and says, but it's actually really cool to play. And then that was one of the goals that we have with Unleash Gaming. And yeah, that's just awesome. On the slightly negative side, some people say, well, I already have 300 games in my Steam library. Well, to be very frank, from our point of view, Utomik is all about discovering games, playing games very fast and easy. And usually the people that love it to death are people that are a bit busy, want to play a game, and they have 2 hours in an evening to play a game. And then, if you go to your console and you want to try out a new game, you're never going to play it because it will take you 2 hours to even get through the patches and the whole process. So that's the big upside. The other response that we sometimes get but less and less, is why are there no new games on it? Why isn't the latest Call of Duty on it? Well, the answer on that one is pretty simple. Right now, we're a $5.99 a month subscription, and if you want to put a $60 new game on that platform, that's going to be tough from a business point of view. So we're not selling that. But the cool news is that we're now getting very fresh indie games, like just launched indie games on the platform on a monthly basis. And we have to admit that it's been quite an achievement to get all the big partners that we have yet to announce to put their games on our platform. But because for them, it's a big step. It's like going from iTunes to Spotify. They have this business model of selling units and then making money on the units with Steam sales, digital sales, physical sales. And now here comes this subscription model. So but we've been able to convince quite a few of them. We're going to be announcing 1, 2, 3 big partners in the next 2 to 3 months, hopefully 2. And there's more being lined up as we speak. So responses are getting more and more positive, and our Facebook is starting to explode, honestly. We went from 1 message a week to 20, 30 messages to our Facebook people a day, and we're now hiring new people to take care of that. And
it sounds like a great response indeed. And like I said, for someone who, like myself, has a very limited time these days with a family, with obviously all the responsibilities that come with Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source and doing that, there's a very limited amount of time that I have in the day to go ahead and play games. So this definitely, for someone such as myself, this definitely is a much more attractive option indeed, because you can literally just go ahead, select a game on the service, and literally just in a matter of just a few moments, go ahead and get involved in that game already. So it is truly a great option indeed. Like you said, you mentioned Borderlands. I saw some of the other titles that are in there, such as Unreal Tournament, Darksiders, both 1 and 2 as far as that's concerned, the Walking Dead series by Telltale, Left 4 Dead 2, Sonic, Sega All-Stars Racing. A lot of Sega titles were in there that I noticed as well. So right now I have listed on your site 445 titles available right now at your fingertips. If you are out there and you're a serious gamer or even a casual gamer indeed, this is definitely a system you got to try. And what's it going to cost you? Nothing right now for 14 days. It's a 14-day free trial. Just go to Utomik. That's utomik.com. That's UTO. 14-day free trial, and during the open beta, it is $5.99 a month. You just cannot beat that for a ton of great games that are right there at your fingertips. Doki, I want to tell you, it's just been a great pleasure having you on, but is there any last words that you have for consumers out there about the great service you have with Utomik?
I say seeing is believing. People really have to try it and experience how it feels to have so many games and discover crazy indies, but also the classics that you know. It's usually people, they shift once they try it. We had a guy who was a hater. He tried it and he started to apologize. So I think seeing is believing. It's the best.
Okay. Kind of lost you right there. If you're still with me, I can hear you. Okay, sweet. I wanted to ask you one more question before we head on out, and I forgot to mention this earlier. What are the system requirements that people need as far as the PC is concerned?
So from the system requirements, because we run the games natively on the system, they are identical to what the system requirements are for the games. Right now, I'd say a lot of the games can be played on an older to medium aged laptop or PC. Okay. But some of the high-end games, like Red Faction Armageddon, which is a really cool game that I'm playing myself right now, that's a bit more high-end. But games like The Walking Dead, they don't require a lot of graphics power.
Fair enough, indeed. Yes, I remember going through that as well. So you know, if Windows 7, Windows 8, even a Windows 10, obviously that
Yep.
that will definitely power it indeed. But
Yep.
even if you have an older system, it's definitely something you want to check out. It is. I tell you what, it's a great service, and I tell you, everyone out there, if you get a chance to just try it. It's 14 days. What have you got to lose? 14-day free trial that's out there for you for a great gaming service that's adding, you said 30 games every month. Is that correct?
Yep. And we're planning to increase it to around 40 to 50 games a month by the end of the year.
Oh, that's awesome indeed. So that tell you what, it's right now 445 titles that are at your fingertips with so many more on the way. The service itself in open beta is $5.99 a month, and it's a 14-day free trial. You got to try it. For more information, if you don't believe what we're talking about right here, right now, and you want to check out more, check out Utomik. That's utomik.com. That's Utomik, utomik.com, or check them out on Facebook, utomik on Facebook today. Well, Mr. Tops, CEO of Utomik, I tell you what, Doki Tops, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show. We truly appreciate you taking the time, because I'll tell you what, everybody out there, he is calling and he's talking to us from the Netherlands. And I'll tell you what, it's just been a great pleasure, because they are in a different time zone, and the courtesy that you know your company has taken, and as far as reaching out to us and arranging this interview is greatly appreciated. Leontine, you did
No
just
problem.
awesome. I appreciate all of her efforts. And to you, Mr. Tops, just again, my heartfelt thank you for taking the time to speak to us today and being part of the pop culture cosmos.
Cool. It was a great pleasure to do so, Gerald.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more from the pop culture cosmos.